let's talk about something we all do, probably every single day, without a second thought. It's a tiny click that feels completely harmless. But what if it's actually a silent digital trap? Just think about it. You open a new website and boom, a little box pops up. Then you go to another site and there it is again. It's become muscle memory for us. We just want to get to the content, so we click accept. That's all it is. One single click, and the annoying box vanishes. We don't read the fine print. Heck, we barely even read the headline. It's just an automatic reflex to get rid of a constant, nagging interruption. And that's the big question we're diving into here. What if that simple, thoughtless action has consequences we've never even stopped to consider? What are we really signing up for? All right, so first things first, let's look at the click itself, because that little pop-up, well, it's not just asking a simple question. It's a piece of psychological engineering, and it's built to guide your hand. I mean, just look at a typical one. The Accept All button is practically screaming at you. It's big, it's bright, it's the easy way out. But the other options, Manage Settings or Reject, they're often smaller, grayed out, harder to even see. This isn't a fair choice. It's a nudge. It's designed to make one decision feel effortless and any other decision feel like a chore. Okay, so we made the easy click. Now what? What are these cookies actually doing once we've let them in? Let's pull back the curtain and see what they're designed to watch. And this is where it gets kind of creepy. Cookies are not just remembering your login details. Oh no. They're building a digital dossier on you. They're tracking what you read, what you buy, what videos you pause, and get this, even what you hesitate over before deciding not to buy. They are literally mapping your every desire and impulse. And this quote right here, it just nails it. The whole point isn't just to get a snapshot of who you are today. By analyzing all those tiny patterns, they're trying to predict who you'll be tomorrow. It's about knowing where you're headed, maybe even before you know it yourself. So this brings up a huge question, right? Every website will tell you that you consented, but when the entire system is built to push you towards one answer, can we really call that consent? There's actually a name for this kind of thing. It's called a dark pattern. It's when a user interface is deliberately designed to trick you or mislead you. That big, friendly accept button we saw, that's a classic dark pattern. It's using psychology against you to get the result they want. And let's be real. When one path is a smooth, easy downhill ride and the other is a complicated uphill climb, your choice isn't exactly free, is it? Consent that's given under pressure isn't really consent at all. And that's the broken foundation this whole system is built on. So that leads us to the big why. Why go to all this trouble? Why is your browsing history so incredibly valuable? The answer, my friends, is a massive, multi-billion-dollar industry that operates almost entirely in the shadows. The data marketplace. The process is actually pretty straightforward. It all starts with your click. Step 1, you accept. Step 2, a super detailed profile of your habits is built. Step 3, that profile, basically your digital twin, is sold on an open market. And step 4, whoever buys it uses it to target you with ads, messages, and all sorts of content designed to influence what you do next. So who's buying this stuff? Well, you've got the obvious ones, like advertisers trying to sell you sneakers. But you've also got political campaigns trying to influence your vote. And then you have data brokers. These are companies whose entire business model is just to buy, bundle, and resell your data to the highest bidder. And here's something you really gotta understand. This isn't about stealing your identity in the old-fashioned sense. They don't need your name or your address. They just need your patterns. Because if they can predict how you'll behave, they can influence that behavior. And that predictability, that's worth a fortune. But hold on, you might be thinking, what about the Manage Preferences button? That's our way out, right? That's how we take back control. Well, let's take a closer look at what happens when you actually click it. Here's the reality. You click on it and you're suddenly faced with this confusing mess of toggles, jargon, and pre-checked boxes. You might flip a few switches and feel like you've done your part. But as this chart shows, what you think you've turned off is usually just a tiny fraction of what stays on by default. The whole thing is designed to be exhausting. And that, right there, is the entire strategy. The more confusing and frustrating they make it to opt out, the more likely you are to just throw your hands up and hit accept all. It's a system where confusion is a feature, not a bug. It's a tool to get you to comply. So let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. We've all heard that old saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Nowhere is that more true than on the internet. The price for all this free content isn't paid with money. It's paid with you. You're paying with the most intimate details of your life, your private habits, your evolving beliefs, and ultimately your future choices. That's the real currency being exchanged with every single click. Let's just call it what it is. That simple click isn't a technical agreement. It's you accepting a system of constant, quiet, and predictive surveillance that follows you everywhere you go online. So the next time that little box pops up and your thumb instinctively moves to tap Accept All, just pause for 1 second. Look at how it's designed, think about what's happening in the background, and ask yourself a simple question. In this transaction, who really benefits?